Vegeta fans are not going to like this episode. Here we are, guys, the end of the Tournament of Power. We all knew it was coming. We all knew who was going to be in the end. Spoiler warning, it's Goku versus Jiren. Vegeta lost in this episode, but not before giving up on his pride and giving it everything that he has. He didn't even transform or anything in this episode. This was like old school, regular, black hair Vegeta going at Jiren with everything that he has, and Jiren just beat him all up and down the freaking tournament ring. And as valiant as it was, I have to admit, I'm kind of disappointed. I just wanted so much more from Vegeta. I can't believe they didn't even think about the concept of fusing with one another to become Vegito, as seeing we saw how powerful he was when they utilized that form against Fusion Zamasu, and I thought that would have been a good plan here, but of course that's not what's going to go down because we have the brand new Ultra Instinct form, the thing that's been hyped up more than anything in the series, and of course that's what's going to be involved in the final battle of the actual series. That being said, Vegeta was still pretty awesome in this episode. He took a punch like a champ, and it was just sad to finally see him go. He leaves some of his energy to Goku, who manages to take over in the second half of the episode, officially beginning the final battle between Goku and Jiren. And as you would expect, Jiren pretty much just rocks the house, just defeats him in his Super Saiyan Blue form, and then proceeds to punch him in the face so many times that it actually becomes kind of funny, pushing him to the very edge of the ring when finally, of course, he activates the Ultra Instinct technique. Now, I have to admit, I loved how this happened because of how epic it was. It was stereotypical and cheesy, and just exactly what you would expect from Dragon Ball, with him being told by all of his friends that he can do it. They're all saying his name. It was also hilarious when it was Frieza there who was saying, "Goku-san!" There was something about that that just felt so wrong. But this is when Goku goes into his Ultra Instinct form. Goku in his Ultra Instinct form immediately takes over in the battle and even punches Jiren so hard that he is visibly harmed by it. He does not look very happy about any of this. So the episode ends with Jiren versus Goku in the final battle. A battle which is going to be so exciting that it's actually, I believe, going to be on break next week, so we're going to have to wait 2 weeks to see the next episode. It's going to be excruciating. I might be wrong about that, but I've looked at the schedule and that seems to be the case. All I know is, what's the rundown on this week's episode of Dragon Ball Super? It's finally here. Jiren versus Goku. I didn't expect that it was actually going to be in the second half of this episode. I thought they were going to devote a little bit more to Vegeta and maybe seeing him do something a little crazy, dealing a little more damage to Jiren. But honestly, it is more realistic that at this point, he simply just does not have the strength to actually pull this off. Considering everything he's done in the last couple of episodes, fighting against Topo and delivering all that destruction with that massive explosion technique, he has to be exhausted. Goku, on the other hand, just keeps on chugging. Of course, he gets a little bit of energy from Vegeta, but really, that doesn't last long at all. He goes Super Saiyan Blue, but you barely ever see it in this episode. Really, we're paving the way for the future. The future is Ultra Instinct. Now, before I go any further in my review, I'm going to go ahead and put up a second spoiler warning, because there have been some huge leaks which have come out today, some imagery which is going to show that Goku's Ultra Instinct might look a little different than before, and you can even see that in the preview for the next episode. It looks like he's going to master the Ultra Instinct, and the hair itself is going to become white. Yes, white-haired Goku. It's happening. It makes sense. The guy's getting old. Look, my actual feelings on the fact that it is going to be turning white is I'm not surprised, I'm not angry. Would it really be the first time that we've seen a different colored hair in Dragon Ball? It's just sort of the par of the course of the series. We see it all the time. And I think it looks fine the way it is. In fact, it actually elevates the whole Ultra Instinct God thing as it's white, it's pure, it makes it all angelic and everything. Maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of why it's so touted and why it's so such a big deal in the next couple of episodes when he just wastes Jiren, which is almost certainly what's going to happen. He also seems to be slimming down significantly, a little bit more kind of like the very first form of Super Saiyan God with the red hair. It's basically that, just with white hair, and he's still probably going to keep the bubbly blue aura. But it looks really cool, I have to admit. I'm not a snob when it comes too much to like the designs of the characters. I expect them to transform and have different hair. That's just the way the Dragon Ball series is. Is it really creative? No, but I still kind of like the simplicity of it overall. I will have to admit, though, I kind of preferred Goku having just, like, the plain black hair, though, with Ultra Instinct, as it sort of brought him close to his original appearance, where I think that was fine enough, it was distinctive enough and cool. Ever since he became a Super Saiyan, that's been, like, just the #1 thing on the street. It's used in all of the promotional material. In the new Dragon Ball FighterZ game, you don't see Super Saiyan Blue on the cover. You see just Super Saiyan Goku, not even regular Goku. That's just the way it is. So to see the new kid on the block, the new power, I think it's actually kind of cool and pretty refreshing. And I'm really ready to see what this whole Ultra Instinct thing is going to be all about. I am ready for this battle. All I know is they better bring their A game. I don't know how long this fight's going to go on for. Personally, for me, I'd like it to go on for at least 2 episodes. I want to see some new techniques, I want to see some fantastic animation, and some stuff that we've never seen from the series before. This is also Jiren's opportunity to really show why he's so powerful and why he is a threat. I hope he'll have to stop relying on just his most boring techniques, which are just punching and karate chops. I want to see more from Jiren, why he is so feared in the first place, and, you know, Ultra Instinct Goku. Like I said, I just really hope they bring it. I want this to be the episode of Dragon Ball Super, the one that everyone's going to remember, and hopefully it lives up to all of that hype. We're going to have to see. The preview does look pretty awesome, but you barely see anything. I'm hoping here, as a hardcore Dragon Ball fan, because this episode right here honestly didn't look that great. There were some moments that frankly looked terrible, and maybe they were just trying to emphasize the fact that Vegeta was really weak. There was a scene where he was punching against Jiren, and there was no force behind any of it, but just the overall movement and everything just looked kind of, just no, I do not want that in my next episode of Dragon Ball Super. I really want them to just go crazy with it. You know, go One Punch Man style, if you will. Just bring it. As for how the actual battle is going to play out, that's what's most interesting. We have 2 minutes to go. Of course, time in Dragon Ball means absolutely nothing, but I mean, still, this is going to add a lot of tension to this actual fight. Not to mention that I'm still theorizing that Frieza's still around. I know it's kind of implied that the big explosion that 17 sent off actually killed Frieza, but I mean, for them to not even acknowledge Frieza's existence of where he is or what he's doing, I'm ready for him to come out of the shadows and do something, whether that is actually helping Goku or actually maybe waiting for both him and Jiren to stop their battle. Goku wins, Jiren gets knocked out of the ring, and then Frieza knocks him out of the ring, making him the final opponent, getting his wish, and ending the series on a big cliffhanger that Frieza's coming back in full force as a super-powered supervillain god. But that's just my theory. It's not a game theory or anything, but it's my theory. But still, it's probably just going to end the way we all expect it to, with Goku defeating Jiren in a blaze of glory. We're going to have a couple final episodes wrapping up everything with the wishing and getting the Super Dragon Balls and bringing all the other universes back. But considering that the series is about to go on hiatus, I'm interested to see if they are going to try and end on a cliffhanger. It would be really bold, and it would certainly just build up a lot of hype. And it could even be connected to the new movie, which is going to be coming out at the end of the year, which I think we're all just like salivating to see what they're actually going to do with that and how it's actually going to be connected to the main series, if at all. And if that's going to be another one of those things where we get a movie and then we make an arc around it, which I think would be kind of a waste of a time at this point, but whatever. Point is, this episode right here, while it had not the greatest animation or artwork in the world, served its purpose as building up the final battle of the Tournament of Power. It certainly did that very well at the very end of the episode with Goku's epic transformation into his Ultra Instinct form. Everybody's wowed by it. I'm getting ready to kick back, get some popcorn, and watch the next episode. It sucks we're going to have to wait a little longer for it, but man, it's going to be awesome. I'm giving this episode a 4 out of 5. As a fan of the series, I'm still incredibly hyped. I'd love to hear from you guys, though. What did you think of this episode right here? What did you think of the leaked forms of Goku's final Ultra Instinct form? And what do you hope to see from the final battle in the future of Dragon Ball Super? Thank you guys for watching this review. Make sure to subscribe to the channel for more Dragon Ball Super reviews, as well as tons of other anime reviews. I'll see you guys next time. And as always, Stay down, baby.